Good day, everybody. It's Friday, and I am here with Paul from the What? Again, good to see you, man. How you doing?
Good. Good to see you too. How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Buried in snow yet up there?
Yeah, big time. How about you?
Not yet. We hear it's coming a couple days from now.
Really?
We're hearing things that'll be measured in feet, not inches. So we'll see. So
Shit.
we've got some negative temperatures already this weekend. So if it happens, it's going to stick around for a while.
What's
Good times.
What is the coldest it's gotten where you're at? Negative, from a negative sense.
It is. I think today. This has been the worst today. It's been. I'm going to convert this to Celsius, but yeah, like minus 10, minus 9, minus 10. So it's pretty. This has been pretty rough, and some nice wind to go with it, which is just great. Because nothing says make it colder like 60-mile-an-hour wind.
Minus 10 Celsius. The other day it was minus 40 Celsius here.
Yeah, that's not even a temperature.
No, see, and people don't believe that shit. It's like, it fucking exists, and it exists here. It's fucking cold. We had a rank storm a couple weeks ago, man. We had it was fucking category 1 hurricane winds, and snow, and rain, and cold, and it just beat the shit out of us.
Oh, it sounds like Newfoundland June.
But yeah, did it snow in June in Newfoundland?
There was, yes.
Was there snow?
There absolutely was, yes.
What
yeah, there were still big piles of snow. Yeah, we went up to the Viking village, way up north in Newfoundland, and yes, there was absolutely snow. Yes, there was.
That is ridiculous. That is so funny.
It's one thing when it's on a mountain, like you go to Banff and it's 10,000 foot peaks. Okay, I get that in June.
Yeah, that makes sense. Newfoundland's like,
aren't any mountains in Newfoundland?
Flat. There's some hills, right, and oceans, but it's fucking flat.
Right. It is, and there's still the icebergs are still floating by. It's beautiful.
I bet they're gone now. Fuck, that's crazy. So have you guys made that goddamn vinyl yet?
We are working on it. We are getting close. So, as you know, we've got 4 released. We've got essentially another 2 finished that aren't released yet, that I know you've heard. There are 2 more that are half done. So, rough math, that's 8.
That's 8.
So we are close. And I think we've got another one of our guitarists has one that he's working on his own that I think he's pretty much demoed. So it's just a matter of getting in the studio and recording that, which that's 9.
Yeah.
And 9 plus 1, we have an album. So yeah, I'm thinking by summer the vinyl will be produced and out and ready to go.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's hilarious.
It would be good.
That would be good. Yeah, that'd be great. Jesus, fucking colored vinyl, buddy.
Absolutely, it will be colored. You might as well not do it if you're not going to do colored vinyl. So yes, it will be. I haven't decided on the color yet, and I'm not sure if that'll be a band decision or I'm just going to overrule. But
just do it. What color would you go with?
I'm thinking green. I'm thinking a little bit of green vinyl.
That's a good call. I want to show you. I wonder if I could just do this. Now, I got a cool vinyl here. It's Billy Corgan's solo acoustic album.
Nice.
I've never seen anything like it. I mean,
beautiful.
I know it's fucking pink. I mean, I've seen the pink color, but a pink record I have not seen.
As I can, I can say I can overrule all I want with the color of the vinyl. I don't think I'm going to get pink past the band.
No.
But you never know. I might be surprised, but I kind of doubt it.
But a solid green like that would be tight.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Sweet. Yep. And I've heard a couple of the new songs like you mentioned. For sure, they're awesome, dude. I like them.
Good. Yeah, I think we're gonna make a couple changes on one, but the other one's done. The other one, I mean, theoretically, the one that's the cover I could probably release. However, I don't have permission to release it yet, so we can't. And that's all. It's a good story if you want to hear it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. So, you've heard it. Did you listen to the original?
No, I didn't. I didn't listen to the original.
I'll warn you, it's quite different. So, I mean, it originally started. I love the song, and it's first of all, it's an obscure. I think I'm crazy to do this cover. So it's an obscure band, and it's an obscure B-side from an obscure band. So you're doing a cover that no one's even going to know is a cover. So it's going to be the worst of both worlds. Like no one's going to listen to it because no one's ever heard it before anyway. And then you don't get the royalties if somebody does. So it's going to be kind of an interesting situation.
But you also won't get dinged copyright.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's and I guess the point of a cover would be to do like a known song, so kind of people get into the band and say, hey, I know that song, I'm going to go listen to that band and then see what else they do. But this is kind of the opposite of that. It's, it might as well be an unknown song that we wrote ourselves because no one's ever heard the original version anyway. Right. But what I did was I went to the original band saying, what do I need to do to get permission to release the song? Well, it turns out they didn't write it either.
Oh, Jesus.
They had a team of writers, so they performed it, they recorded it and released it, but they had a team of writers that wrote this song. And the singer from the original band said, contact this guy Brian, and she gave me the studio in England. Yeah. So he said, contact him. He produced it. He'll be able to tell you what to do or give you permission. I said, all right. So I sent an email to the studio. There was no listing for the Brian in the studio, but there's a general email address, and I got a message back saying they were out of office, but if you need any assistance immediately, contact Brian. So, hey, I got his email. So I sent it to this producer, and he got back to me right away. Surprisingly, he said, yeah, I don't think you really need any special permission. They already released the music. It's just a matter of, doing a cover song. So it's like any other cover, since it's already released, it's not unreleased or anything special. He said, I just have one request from you. Please let me hear the song first before you release it. So I said, okay, no problem, no big deal. So after I read the email and said, that's, I told the band and told our studio guy, I said, this guy wants to hear it when we're done and see what it sounds like. And I guess if it, he hated it, theoretically he could say, you guys can't release that because I don't like it, because we did make some changes to the original. Yeah. I wrote the structure was a little weird. It had a first verse, and then the second verse was only half a verse. So I went ahead and just under artistic license wrote a second half of the second verse and changed a little bit of the melodies and changed a little bit of the structure. But yeah, so this guy wanted to hear it before we released it. So when I'm reading this email and telling the band and our studio guy, I go and look this guy up, figuring, see if there's any record of this guy on the internet, see if he's legit. Turns out this guy's got a list of credits 100 miles long.
Holy shit.
This guy wrote and produced the entire Cher Believe album and pretty much invented the use of auto-tune on pop records. So he's got Grammys, now I'm sitting here thinking, okay, so we're basically a cover band from Pennsylvania that has a handful of original songs. We do a cover of this guy's song and he's going to listen to us play it. That ought to be good. Yeah. Can't wait to hear what he says about this. So, I've sent it to him. I'm waiting to hear back from him to see what he thinks. So we'll see, but I was
How long
not
ago did you send it?
Earlier this week. So
okay.
We'll see. I wasn't expecting anything back immediate.
It wasn't like 3 months ago and you're still hoping.
No, it was not. It was not 3 months ago. No, because I'm not entirely a big rush to release it. But yeah, I'm thinking, all right, well, this is just going to be fantastic. He's going to get to hear me sing after producing Cher. That should be great.
What if he hears it? What if he hears it and he says, I want to work with you. Send me your tracks.
What am I going to say? Sure, here you go. But
sorry,
I'm not anticipating that, but who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm waiting to hear back from this producer that's, like I said, got a list of credits a mile long and Grammys and everything else, listening to the what. So we'll see what he says. Once I hear back from him, he'll probably go ahead and release that cover and see how it does. But it's like I said, it's, if anybody actually listens to this that actually heard the original, it's going to be quite different for them because, obviously the original had a female singer. So right there, it's going to sound completely different. In fact, the singer from that band said, it's like, I listened to your version. I went back and listened to mine. And I sound like a chipmunk. I was like, well, that's all right. Well, I went listen to yours and listen to mine. And I sound like Lurch from the Addams Family.
So there you go.
Where it works both ways.
Even, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Let me know what he says. Send me a DM when you hear back. It'll be interesting. I'm interested. Yeah, definitely. I'll let you know what he has to say if he says anything. Hopefully it's not, either hopefully he doesn't ignore it and hopefully he doesn't come back and say, you guys are awful, don't bother. But we'll see. Imagine just like, you know what? fuck off. Just stop. Stop butchering my
Right.
goddamn song.
It could. You never know. He could say that.
Then you say, well, you produce
you know,
Cher, so just hold
but
on.
he's English, so it'll be very polite in an
It'll be
English
polite.
accent, at least.
Yeah. Please go fuck yourself. Yeah. That's awesome. That's exciting.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes.
It's so funny. I think he'll fucking say, hey, I'll work with you guys. Why not? He'll be looking for a project. He'll be looking for something to do during the pandemic. They're on full lockdown over there. If he's in the UK, they're fucked.
Right. Yeah. I've been hearing about that. So yeah, one of the other things I've got going on is another collab. So with an English singer. And I've just been hearing about that. That's like kind of actually what the song working on is about, you know, being locked down and the effects of that. So we'll see where that goes. But that is with Lusana.
Okay.
If you've been, I know she's on TFSC and
yeah.
She's this real tiny English singer with just an amazing voice and a mouth like a sailor.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that's right. Actually, I think I've talked to her. Yeah. On DMs or whatever. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we'll see where that goes. But it's kind of in the middle of, we're not sure exactly which way that'll go or, you know, how it'll come together, but it's starting. It's getting there. Maybe that'll be song number 10. You never know. That'd
be something. That'd be cool.
And then we're finished. If that's
then you're finished. Then you just got to press that shit. I saw that. I saw Bandcamp is offering pressing now.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, they finally have given you the options that you can go through them, and they'll put a fucking vinyl out for you.
Interesting. I'll have to look into that. I finally got on Bandcamp.
Nice.
About a month ago. So yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
Well, you'll be coming up just in time for their Bandcamp Friday next Friday.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, no merch on it yet, but at least we're there. And
put the tunes up there, fucking buck a piece, whatever. You're good to go.
Tunes are there, so anybody can go and check them out. Read
what about
the stories
your shirts
behind them.
What about your shirts you got?
I finally did get a shirt. They finally showed up. They're in. Yeah, nice. That wasn't. That just came about. That was a DJ that was up north of here, about an hour north of here, and he played our songs, a couple of our songs on the air, and he just he did this for the scene. He basically called it Shirts for the Scene. Yeah. And his name is Johnny Popko. And it was a great idea. So all the local bands, what he did was got them together, got them to submit a logo, which of course we didn't have. And I'll get into that a little bit in a second. But so he said you send him a logo, and he basically got this company to do shirts. Like they're basically made to order. So it's not like you're ordering a pile of inventory and letting it sit around. It's made to order, and they ship them out in a couple of weeks, and you get your shirt with the band logo on. Tight. So, I wasn't expecting a whole lot out of that, but apparently a handful of people more ordered them. And I had somebody from Spain looking to order one.
Nice.
And I wasn't figuring anybody outside of my house was going to order one. And then somebody from Spain put an order in. Now, I guess they had a problem because they couldn't ship to Spain, but we figured that out. We can work around that, ship it to me, and I ship it to Spain. And, there's ways to work around that. But so it was a great deal. And I think they raised like $6,000 for local bands doing that. So it was, pretty good deal.
That's awesome.
No risk at all to the artist whatsoever, other than submitting a logo.
Yeah, you're not on the hook for any cost whatsoever.
No. So it was good. It's good.
That's good.
Yeah, and when the logo came out, I don't know if you saw the logo, but it came out.
I did, yeah. I was looking at buying one, and then I fucking forgot until right now.
Yeah, the logo came out really well.
Again, it looks good.
We didn't have a logo, and that was what kind of held us up from the beginning of the project. We got in a little late, but we, I had an idea for the hand holding up to the ear, and I have a friend of mine that works for Pokemon of all places, and she got one of the illustrators based on my idea to go design it, and she designed it in a couple of hours, and we had a logo, which was awesome. She did a great job for it.
You got one of the designers of fucking Pokemon to do your okay.
Yeah, it is. Biggie. She just did it and said, "Here you go. Have fun with it. Do whatever you want with it."
Oh my god,
it was awesome.
That's hilarious.
I couldn't have asked for anything better than that. But yes, we have a Pokemon logo.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we just fall into stuff every now and then.
Yeah, it's just so you have the Pokemon logo. You're gonna have the fancy English producer, and you're gonna have a green vinyl and a Canadian tour. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. The Canadian tour.
Take all that with you. Stop in Saskatchewan.
The tour will be short. The tour will be shorter than the lockdown we get going in.
Yeah. Fuck. How are you guys doing with all that business down there?
I mean, it's okay. Nobody's locked down. I mean, if you travel outside of the state, you have to take a test when you get back and quarantine yourself until you get the results. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty much wear a mask if you go in anywhere. Other than that, you're pretty much fine to go.
Yeah.
I mean, schools aren't open or anything. They're open part-time, hybrid schedules, that kind of thing. But yeah, nothing like what's going on in some other countries where it's, complete lockdown. Like I said, I know for sure England is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other than that, it's pretty open.
Germany is too again.
Yeah. Yeah. So other than people complaining about wearing masks, that's about all that's going on here.
Yeah. And I mean, really, like at this point, fuck off, just wear it and shut up.
It really isn't that inconvenient. It's a mask. And this time of year, it just warms your face up. So
exactly. It's not a bad thing in winter. That's what I'm saying. It's like, no. It's all right. Can't complain. Well, that's good. That's good. I don't know what the fuck they're doing up here. Nobody knows what's happening. So, as usual. We're just staying the course. Up there. Yeah.
Are they really?
Well,
I know there's some. I've seen some anti-Trudeau stuff, but I didn't know how bad.
Here's my thing with Justin Trudeau. I think he's done a hell of a job throughout this whole fucking thing. He's a younger guy, younger than most of the fucking prime ministers you get, like your 70-plus-year-old dudes or your Bidens or whatever, right? So he's got a very forward way of thinking. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people are in the old boys club up here, right? The conservative fucking blah, 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 blah. So that's why they fucking hate on him. But, I think about how when this pandemic hit and he got right in front of it and he said, you're not going to have to worry about much. Like we'll help you out. Like we'll give you $2,000 a month type thing to fucking just, if you lose your job, you can apply, you get this much month type thing. And everybody's going to get that. If you lose your job from COVID, there you go, you're set. You think about that and it's like, hey, well, it's fucking pretty decent. Then of course, there's all people say, well, you're going to pay for that fucking tax time. It's like, yeah, I mean, probably, but you might have a fucking house for another year or food for your family or whatever if you lost your job. And if your industries are shut down from COVID, well, then you can still float along. Like, I don't know. A lot of places just good luck. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Your $600 stimulus checks.
Yeah.
One time.
One time.
Come on.
Yeah. No, it's good.
$2,000's not a huge amount of money, depending like where you live, but it's fucking better than nothing.
Right. In Toronto, that's probably a cup of coffee.
For that picture too. It's so fucking expensive there. $2,000. I can't even go to Starbucks. God damn it. Yeah.
So yeah, the thing I didn't realize about Trudeau, and I didn't realize when the Rolling Stones got in all that trouble back in the 70s, that's his mom. I had no idea. Like when they got in trouble got caught in the hotel with the prime minister's wife, that was Trudeau's mom.
That was
because his dad was the prime minister.
Yeah, Pierre. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was his wife was the one that got caught with the Stones.
Oh my God.
Trudeau's
That's
mother.
Hilarious.
I had no idea.
I didn't either.
I think he was already born, so he's not a product of that.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I think he was like 4 or 5 years old or something like that. But yeah, that was his parents.
That's just fucking partying. That's hilarious. Huh. That's
so, when was the last time I was on? July? I think we just had a Say Goodbye coming out when I was on last, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's right.
Yeah, because you guys loved that one.
That was a good one.
When that one's coming out. And then since then we had You're Still Alive come out, and that was the one where we had a couple people wanting to debut it. Everybody wanted to debut that one.
That's right. Yeah, we were fighting over that one. Yeah.
That was another collab with Karina.
But
the first one, the She Becomes the Queen, that one she just sang on. This one was actually another good story. This one traveled the world. So back when we released She Becomes the Queen, which was almost a year ago, it was last March. It was right before the real COVID lockdown started. It was March 14th. So, we had the song was finished. You're always in that, whatever it is, 6-week period waiting to, you submit it, you're waiting for it to be inspected, waiting for it to be distributed, the whole deal. So while that was going on, we were talking, we were real happy with how that came out. And we thought we should probably do another one.
Yeah.
So at the time, I had a set of lyrics, and that was all I had, and I had just bought an interface. So she said, "Well, do you want to do another song together?" I said, "Sure." And I said, "Do you want to write this one?" Because last one, like I said, it was a finished song, and basically she just replaced my vocals on parts of the songs. Yeah. So this one, I said, because I know she's really good at writing melodies. She's pretty good at writing music. She's really into that stuff.
Yeah.
I said, "Why don't we write this one together?" So I had the lyrics, and I kind of with the interface, kind of all things, wrote it on bass and a little bit of guitar, and kind of gave her a chord progression and said, "Here's what I have in mind for the verse and the chorus." Didn't have a bridge or anything like that. And she said, "Well, great." She was in Japan at the time, so I sent what I had to Japan to her with the lyrics, and she said, "I'll work on it over here." Right. And she had a friend of hers staying with her at the time who was actually in a band in Australia back in the early 80s. We actually had a pretty big hit back in Australia. They were called Serious Young Insects. And they had like I said, they were touring with The Cure and The Pretenders and a bunch of different bands. So they were a pretty big deal in Australia. And like I said, they had I don't know how high the song got, but it was a pretty big hit. So he helped on it too. So it was, kind of a three-way co-write.
That's awesome.
And they sent, took what I had and then kind of demoed it in Japan, in Tokyo, and sent back what they had in pretty much a complete demo.
Right.
So then we took that demo, I took it to the band and to our producer, our studio guy, and basically we went in the studio and kind of re-recorded what they did. Okay. And that's kind of how that song came about. So we're, in the studio with our studio guy, and we're listening back to what we just did. And it was exactly what they did. We left Karina's voice in. We took the Mark White's his name, the guy from Serious Young Insects. He sang the original version on the demo. So I re-recorded the vocals. I changed the lyrics. Otherwise, I probably would have left his vocals in, or at least doubled them with mine or something like that. But I changed a couple of words. Okay. And so we were listening back to our version of it, and then it just seemed like it was missing something. So we went back and listened to the demo to see kind of what are we missing here. And we listened to the demo and they're like, well, that's missing something too, but something different. They're both missing something, but missing. We couldn't figure out what each were missing. So the studio guy decided, let me play them at the same time and see what happens. See if I can tell that way. If we're listening to the one over the other, if you can figure out what it is. And we listened to them both together, and we don't know exactly why it worked. It just, when you played them together and everything, it just all came together when you played both versions. So what we did ultimately is we took the stems from their demo and combined it with the stems from what we did here. So both versions are in the final version, in the final mix. The only thing we took out were his vocals because we had to, because of we changed like 2 words. Because originally the song was essentially an anti-bullying song about high school bullying. But the whole part about, you're still alive, breathing in the air, that was already there. And then because it took so long, we wrote this back. I wrote the lyrics back in last March, and it took so long because of COVID to get in the studio and get all this done. It was the fall until we finally started doing this, or late summer anyway. But all the stuff with George Floyd and all the protests and the Black Lives Matter movement, all that happened over the summer, and this song just fit perfectly with that. So instead, I changed a couple of words, and instead of making it about, high school idiots bullying kids, it became about police bullying people. Yeah. So because it just fit better. And because I changed those 2 words, we couldn't use his voice other than trying to re-record it. But they were in the process of moving from Japan back to Spain at the time. So they didn't have any of the recording equipment. It was all in boxes halfway across the continent. Yeah. So that's how it came together. It's actually both versions of that song are in the final version.
That's amazing.
So it just, I don't know. We still can't explain why that worked, but putting them together and putting all of it together just made a sound that you couldn't produce on either of the single versions by themselves. So it worked out great. I think it turned out really well in the end. It's a good song.
It's a damn good song.
Yeah, I like that one. It's a little bit different for us. It's a little more
somber.
Wavy, we'll call it, alternative.
And somber, but it's good.
But like I said, Mark's band was a new wave band back in the early 80s, almost before new wave was even new wave.
That makes sense.
I want to say their hit was like 81, 82. So it was way back. But you listen to it now and you're like, wow, that would have been, a huge MTV hit had, MTV not been like 3 days old when they released it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's awesome.
So
like that.
Yeah, so it was a great way to, it was a great collab. It turned out really well. And I think everybody was pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
So we'll see where we go from there. See if there are any more future Karina and the What collaborations.
I hope so.
Yeah, I know we have a project going now that is, we'll call it music adjacent, but it's she's doing some sketches, and I was looking at these. She's like, I was just fooling around with these sketches. This has to be a kid's book. I mean, the sketches were great. I'm like, I could see kids looking at these sketches and just being fascinated them for hours. And she's like, well, they're too scary for kids. I'm like, no, they're not. Dr. Seuss's characters were scary.
Yeah.
And her response was, who's Dr. Seuss? Not thinking that like people in Spain aren't going to know
who Dr.
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
But once she saw the illustrations, the Cat in the Hat illustrations, oh yeah, I know. Okay. And it made sense. But yeah, I'm like, every kid reads Dr. Seuss, and those standalone, those characters are very scary, but
the Grinch,
not for kids. They love them. Yeah. So we'll see where that goes, but we're trying to, maybe there's a kid's book in the future, but it will definitely have music involved in it.
Nice.
One way or another.
My kids had a book that had it came with a CD. You could play along with it or something. I never did.
Yeah, and that's kind of the idea where this would go. That the end of it there would be a song, and exactly. So we'll see where that goes. Neither one of us have any idea how to write a book, but the sketches are there and the stories there. We just got to
talk to. You know what? You want to write a book? Talk to fucking Creative Reader.
Yeah.
On Twitter. Yeah.
Okay.
She is a great writer. We've been doing stuff with her. She's been writing short stories that we're gonna start. Like voice acting for kids.
Oh, cool.
You should talk to her. She's a legit. Send her a DM and just tell her when we get the illustrations. Keep it in mind. She's out of she's from Sweden, and she's one of the nicest people on the planet. You should follow her if you're not.
Oh, I already am, definitely.
Yeah, there you go. Talk to her. She's good.
Cool. I'll keep that in mind as this project moves forward. But yeah, I would have never guessed that we'd be getting into that, but here we are. You never know where it goes.
No, that's just it.
Leads.
Exactly. You never know where it's going to take you, but just keep following along the wherever it goes.
Yep.
That's awesome. I'd love to see it.
So, yeah, we'll hopefully someday this will see the light of day. Yes. It'll be awesome.
Absolutely.
So, now you heard the other one too, the one East of Shamrock, I think.
Yes.
Which again, unreleased. That's the one I want to make a couple changes to, but it's close.
That was the one that I said. That was the one I said between the two that I thought it was still good, but I could see why you'd want to make changes for sure.
Yep, and it's heavier. It's definitely heavier than what we've done, but that's going to be the influence of the other members of the band starting to help with the writing and help with the music. That one, I wrote the lyrics. The guitarist wrote the music, so it's going to be a little bit heavier than we've got two guys, the two guitarists in the group that want to help out and do the writing and contribute. I mean, their go-to music is 70s hard rock, heavy metal. Yeah. They want to, or even into the 80s with Metallica, and they want to write Metallica or Black Sabbath songs. So which is obviously way different than some of the stuff we've been releasing. So She Becomes the Queen is not going to be a Metallica song anytime soon.
Right.
But these guys want to write heavier riffs, and that's cool. Yeah. I definitely like that. I stray a little bit more to like the power pop side of things, but heavier riffs are fine by me.
Yeah.
That was cool because there's the riff in the beginning, especially in the intro. So way back, I want to say it was for the bicentennial. So going back here, that's 76. My grandparents actually wrote a song for the town we live in, and they wrote basically for the bicentennial. They wrote a theme song for the town, and the music that they ended up putting in that song, the guitarist used, which is my brother's the one guitarist that wrote this. He wrote that music into the riff, into the beginning of the intro. So we're basically using our grandparents kind of they obviously didn't play it on electric guitar, but they played it on piano, but he's using kind of a little bit of that piano riff into the intro, and he worked that into the song. The song's all about what we used to do around town. It's about our little town and everything that went on and all the trouble we got into and all the stuff we used to do. Yeah. So he thought, what a great way to, put their music, their song about that town into this one. So that's kind of where the intro came from. So I think, people around here are going to kind of get a little kick out of that, hey, wow, it's great that, you use that. Because everybody here, they have a celebration here in the park. I think it's every May. They have a May Day festival, and they get all the townspeople to come in. They sing that song, which is weird because the whole town's singing a song my grandparents wrote. But they sing that, and that melody is going to be worked into it's already worked into that riff. So I think it'll be kind of interesting for people around here to hear that we took that little piano melody and put it into a heavy guitar riff. See
That's
what they
awesome.
think. They'll probably, we'll see.
You should play that festival.
And
play that song live.
That would be awesome. We would love to do that.
People would lose their minds. That'd be good.
Yeah, and Shamrock is the next town over, which is where the name comes from.
Yeah.
So Shamrock Station, it's called. So we're east of Shamrock.
You're east of Shamrock.
Named it. We're the next train station over, east to the east of Shamrock. Yeah. So that's where that name comes from.
I love that. That's so cool. It's a whole new appreciation. That's awesome. Nice.
Yep.
You guys have a ton of good musicians down there. You, Chris Sheeler's awesome. He's from PA. I think he's from York.
Yep.
I
won't hold that against him. Yeah, we do. Well, I mean, Live came from York, so they were huge. Hailstorms from York. So it's, big area for that. And I'm meeting a couple people on Twitter too. Like I never get the name right because there's so many words in the name, but the Godzilla band, the blues band, the Godzilla Attack Tokyo. He's from a couple towns over.
Oh, really?
He's planning on, So when when COVID, if we ever get through COVID and get vaccines and we start playing again, he's probably going to come out and jam with us a little bit at our next when we rent the hall and play again.
Nice.
He's not more than 10 miles from here.
Nice.
So it's kind of cool that that's where he's from, and he's into our music. Where he's a little bit of a different sound, but he's into jamming, so he's going to come over and jam with us at some point. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of that on tape somewhere, either video or audio or something, and post that because then it'll be a lot of fun.
That's great.
But we got to get out of COVID first. So we haven't played together since. I mean, outside of the studio, we haven't played live since I want to say October, late October, something around Halloween. Yeah. It's been a while already. For us, we're usually every 6 weeks, but we got to the point where my brother had COVID, so that put him out for a while, and then the rest of the band said, okay, let's just take a break for a while until the vaccines are here, right around the corner. Let's see if we can get the vaccines, and then we'll get to playing again. So hopefully early spring we can start playing again. Yeah,
hopefully, man.
Be nice.
It's a fucking waiting game.
Or go to gigs again. Even it's been almost a year since I've been to a concert, which is just—that's
insane for you. You're Mr. Concert.
It is. Right? We're one a week. I mean, we average 50 a year, or something like that. Just a crazy number. And March 7th was the last concert I went to. So we're coming. We're whatever that is, 6 weeks away from being a year, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But you do what you can. You live stream some stuff, and whatever bands are doing that, and that works.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Not the same. No, it's definitely not. No, there's something about being there in the crowd and then meeting the band afterwards, and there's no substitute for that at all.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not at all that anxious to go into a huge crowd of massless people either. But I would like to get out. They are starting to figure out some ways to do some socially distanced shows, and so at least you get some live music. But again, even that's not the same. But at least you're there listening to live music.
Yeah, I heard they're gonna do like bubbles and shit, or even like drive-through or drive-in shows and stuff like that.
They've done drive-ins already here.
Yeah.
So that's happened. I haven't gone to it, but they've definitely done drive-ins here. I know the Struts did one down in Philadelphia, which they're always a fun. But again, seeing the Struts while sitting in your car, it's
worthless.
It's just not the same. It's just not the same. But again, like I said, the alternative is to let everybody in and just have a huge mosh pit, which isn't a great idea either. So I get it, but hopefully we'll get through this soon, and like I said, get the vaccines and everybody can go back to something close to normal anyway. Some
sense of it for sure.
I think my wife is gonna but when this is finally over, I think she's probably just gonna go follow Fish on tour all summer. She gets the vaccine by then. I won't, she'll leave in June, and I'll probably see her again in August after about, whatever it is, 30 Fish shows.
See ya. I have to go now. I know. I'll be here.
But again, that's one thing. We always go up to the New Year's run. They have a New Year's run in Madison Square Garden every year, but not this year. So that, you didn't get to go. And again, she's the same way. She hasn't been to shows in forever. Yeah. So it's kind of, we'll get there. We'll get back to it. I have a feeling by summer you'll start to see it again.
I think so too.
I'm hoping.
Hope so.
I think we have adults running the show here again in the U.S. So hopefully we'll have a plan. Get the vaccine.
How was your November, bud? Jesus.
Good. I mean, it was. Obviously crazy. I mean, I'm sure everybody saw on the news all the stuff that went on here. I mean, I worked the election.
Yeah, I was going to say you worked
supervisor here, so yeah, it's which wasn't that bad. I was surprised because there was, obviously with the way politics is here, they made a law that if people come in without a mask, you have to let them vote. You can't turn them away just because they don't want to wear a mask. Mm-hmm. So, but thankfully, all but one person did. Wow. Everybody for the whole day came in and wore it, which is weird. Now, the one guy, we knew the one guy that didn't wear it was not going to wear it because he's a pain in the ass. He's a pain in the ass every year. Yeah. I mean, the guy has no disability, but he comes in and asks to use the disability machine every year just to make sure we have one, or he'll report us. It's that kind of guy.
And yet he wouldn't wear a mask.
And he would. Well, right, exactly, because he wanted to prove he can vote without wearing a mask because he doesn't have to.
I fucking hate those assholes so much. Up here we just had a restaurant get a big fine for not enforcing the mask shit, saying like masks are optional. But basically the government laid it on the line and said, if you want to fucking run, you got to lower capacity. People got to wear masks, this and that. Someone blew the whistle on them, and there's a bunch of these fucking anti-mask Facebook groups saying like, oh, this person snitched and blah 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 blah. And they're just fucking doxing people and this and that. And wow. So fucking a buddy of mine in like another group got wind of this, and so he messaged the one person that was threatening this woman that said all this shit, or that was calling this woman a snitch and get her and this and that, whatever. And he's, he kind of told the guy what's what and everything like that. And someone in the comment section said, give me this guy's fucking address. And I was like, you don't know this guy. You do not want this man's fucking address. Trust me. I've seen him in action, bro. You don't want his address. One of my other buddies said, he's like, that seems like an awfully lot of trouble just to get your fucking ass handed to you, dude. Like,
yeah.
Just
well, how would that even work up there trying to find it? Would you just go get in your snowmobile and like drive?
Yeah, exactly. Head west. Exactly.
Be on your GPS on your phone while you're driving the snowmobile and.
Yeah. Good luck. Yeah. But I just thought that was
like,
so
what
funny.
do you have, like the 5 hours of daylight you have this time of year?
Yeah, it's 3. It's 3 now. It's winter. Yeah. That's hilarious. Oh yeah. Well, fuck. It's always good to catch up with you, man. You gotta keep me posted with. I want to know what the producer says, and I want to know when you're getting that fucking vinyl. Yeah,
I'm anxiously awaiting that return email myself and see. Hopefully it's not something completely disappointing, but it said the people he's worked with, they just look at that list and like, I can't believe this guy's going to listen to the what, but okay.
That's
awesome. We'll see.
Fucking power of the internet, dude. That's crazy. That's good.
Yeah.
I think it'll be positive. I think you'll be surprised. You guys
I hope so.
You guys are a good fucking band, man. You'll be good.
It is very different than what the original song was, but we'll see.
Maybe not in a bad way.
we made it. We made it our way. They made it their way. We made it ours, and it's different. We're different bands. We're not an all-female pop group, so it's going to sound different.
There's that. Yeah, this doesn't sound like the female pop group version I know. Yeah. Oh, okay. No, it'll be good. It'll be good. Well, yeah, I'll have to look around. I gotta get one of your shirts for sure soon. I'm fucking. Keep me posted with any rumbles.
Hopefully they ship to Canada. If not, let me know and we'll work it out.
We'll get you one. I'll fucking get one here, no problem. I don't give a shit. I don't take no for a fucking answer. I get results, not excuses. I want results. But yeah, I'm gonna be rolling this thing. I'm gonna be rolling this thing back a little bit for frequency, but I'll still have you back any fucking time you like, buddy. Anytime.
Okay.
I'm just tired of doing the 5 nights a week. It's too much now.
Yeah, it's a lot. Plus all your shows too, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to just a little bit power this down a little bit and do the other things. And just But yeah, for sure. We'll talk again soon. You let me know.
Cool.
Whenever
definitely.
You want. We'll talk.
When that album comes out. So I'm hoping I'll put a date of June 1st on it. That's my target now. I just made that up, but We'll go with it. I think it's
ambitious. Doable. Okay. See how long
5
the pressing
months.
plants take.
Well, that's going to be the key. I'll commit to having the 10 songs recorded and finished by June 1st.
There you go. That's better. All right.
we'll
I'll
see where
expect
we
the
go
vinyl
from
in the
there.
fall in my mailbox. Thank you.
That's where it will be once we get it.
Sure.
You're good with the green, right?
I love the green. Yeah.
I'm thinking green.
Green or yellow, dude? Yellow looks sick too. Green and yellow. Oh, splattered.
Ooh, little squirrel. That's my high school colors. That could work.
Was it? I gotta.
Yeah, pretty much. Since we all went to the same high school, but one of us, it's all of our high school colors.
Well, what the hell? There you go. Maybe this is some Destiny shit right now.
I didn't. That's a great idea. Green and gold.
Green and gold. I've got one here. If I can find it.
I think that could work.
Oh, that's not it. Shit. No, I found it. Where the fuck? It's beautiful. This here you are. I love this.
Oh, nice.
You know, something like that. That's let's shout out to the brothers Steve. They'll be here live in the bunker Wednesday night.
Nice. may have to make it a gatefold sleeve. Do like a little kiss thing and make it like the inside of the Alive 2 cover or something.
Yeah.
Our stage doesn't quite look like that, but you know.
That's fine.
That would make it even funnier.
Yeah. Let me know if you go through Bandcamp. That'll be interesting to hear the process from someone.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, I'm going to definitely look into that because I had no idea where we're going to press it yet. But yeah,
they
so
just announced it. I think like a week or two ago. It's brand new, so
definitely we're going to check that out. So
maybe
when I say we, I mean me because you know
you're the one that does it all. These guys just show up and tune their guitars.
They are not social media people or promotion or anything. They just want to show up and play. You pretty much got it. Yeah, well, it's fine.
Leave the important A&R shit to you, and
that can be dangerous, though.
I think they'll be in good hands, dude. That's all good. All right, brother.
All right.
Thank you so much for taking the time. It was a pleasure, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we'll talk again soon.
All right. Sounds good.
Later, man.
See ya.